This episode is brought to you by
BMR Motorsports.
Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to Talk Dirt to Me. This is episode number 17 already. Across from me today, I have Mr. Mike Saunders.
Hello.
And today, we've got a consistent top 5 finisher with years of seat time and a reputation as one of the toughest competitors on dirt. Sitting down with us today, we have the driver of the number 46, Hayden Brown.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. We are super excited that you are here.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good one. As we mentioned, we have a lot of history on you that we were given last night. So yeah. I think people are going to be surprised by how much knowledge and experience you actually have. So
Let's see how it goes.
All right. You ready to jump in?
Yep.
Okay. So you've been racing a long time. So I just want you to kind of walk me through kind of how you started and how old you were. Because I think that is a really big one of how many years you've been doing this.
Yeah, so I started out when I was like young. When I first started going to Capital City to watch Dad do the enduros. Every Wednesday night we were at the track, and I kind of knew I wanted to do it, but I wasn't sure. And then I started did some couple years doing football. Got pretty competitive at that, and then I remember my parents sat me down and were like, "Okay, you can do this, or you can do this," and I was like, "Well, racing's the way I'm gonna go." And then we started from there. I was 13, driving a legend car. Mom was panicking. Dad was super excited. And yeah, just developed from there. We raced at Peterborough Speedway. Capital City had closed, so we weren't racing there. Sunset Speedway, all across Eastern Ontario.
Wow. So when you were in your legend car, what was your home track? Like where would you go to?
Peterborough was our home track, the closest one. So.
Wow. And what was the other track you said you went to?
We'd go to Sunset Speedway.
Okay.
So it's in like close to Aurelia.
Oh, wow.
And then Grand Bend Speedway was like kind of like the furthest one. It was like 6.5 hours away.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So how long were you in the legend?
I was in the legend for 2 seasons, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have then 2 seasons, and then we moved over to dirt because we were sick and tired of driving, and the fuel prices to get there and back were insane.
Yeah.
So then we came to Brockville.
All right. So after your legend and asphalt, you went straight into a mini stock. Is that where you went to?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And what was your very first mini stock you had?
Dominic Merkley's old car. Still have it to this day, the orange one that Dad ran this year. It's that's the car that I started with. It's probably been rebuilt like a million times, but yeah, it's still there.
All right. And where did 46 come from?
Do you guys know the movie Days of Thunder?
Yeah.
That movie when I was a kid was cool.
Okay.
And it just happened to be Dad's opposite number, so.
It works out then.
Yeah.
So you've always been 46. That was the very first number you've had. Cool. What is the favorite track? Your kind of number one favorite track right now because you've ran asphalt and dirt. Do you have one that's kind of stood out?
To me, Brockville's the speedway I always want to run at because I'm so confident at it. I guess like I feel like I've ran probably 5,000 laps there. So definitely. Brockville's my favorite. I find asphalt, it's just too clean. There's not enough like bumping around, like there's not enough intensity with it. So
I like that you say that because he is like, we'll watch some asphalt stuff or NASCAR, and I'm like, I don't know, like I get it, I get the hype, but I do prefer watching dirt because there is a lot more action.
Well, like
I find
me and Dad this summer on one of our weekends off went to Sunset Speedway to watch all our old friends race, and I was like, this is like not boring, but like there's less action for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. He likes it, but I
like everything.
True. So I heard from someone that your very first lap in a legend, something might have happened.
Yep. So we went. We went for the first practice night. We had my car and my dad's car, Terry, um, and he was first in line, and they were just trying to get me to get some laps out. So the first, like, I went out with my car, did like 3 laps, and I didn't touch the the throttle to the floor, and Dad goes like, 25-second laps aren't gonna win, and then so I was like, okay, let's try this now. And I got into his car, which was basically Mona Lisa because, a little more money spent on that one. And I got into the car, went to go, like I was really trying to give her. I went into the corner, pushed the clutch in instead of the brake, and around I went up. I was like an inch from the wall. And I remember Terry being like, I shit my pants.
Yeah.
He almost destroyed my car. And I was like, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. And how old were you?
13, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
13.
that must have been so scary just for like Terry, your mom, and then yourself. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. And how is it racing with Terry, like your dad?
I love it. I love it. And I love the fact that, like, even you guys probably know Top Karting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We used to go there all the time. And whether I was 14, 12, or now, he races me just as hard as any other person out there. That's what I like. We're pretty competitive, the two of us. And like even when we were in legend cars, it was like totally different because he was at the front and I was more at the back. But now I think this year will be fun.
Yeah.
Finally get like side.
Mhm.
Even the last race of the year was only 15 laps. I think you guys probably ran 10 of them side by side.
Yeah.
That must be kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It's fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so how are like family dinners? Like, do you sit there and you talk about racing a lot and kind of chirp each other back and
Oh, yeah.
forth, or?
Yep. Mom gets tired of listening to us talk about racing, I'm sure, but everything's about racing.
Yeah. No, that's I don't know. I find it pretty cool when like there are the family members out there because, like I say, there's that competition, and then it's like, well, now I'm racing with my family, so do I race them different? Do I not race them different? Like,
And the other thing that's nice about racing with family is like when you're getting older, especially for me, like soon moving out to the house, whatever. It's nice to like keep the family together. Like every weekend we're all together at the racetrack.
Yeah.
Gives us something to do together.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right. What else do I have here? Oh, there's another night that apparently you hit the wall pretty bad. And your mom asked you if you were okay, and you said, "Yeah, I'm good." And I think there was a little fib told there, so you could keep racing.
Yeah, I remember. I hit the wall like square, and I was like to the floor. I was coming out of turn 4. Somebody was spinning in front of me, I want to say, and then I went to go move to the inside. Somebody caught the bumper and turned me towards the infield. Tried to correct it, and I went straight into the wall. I had whiplash pretty bad. Like nobody talks about this, but if you don't put your groin strap tight enough, you slide when you hit the wall, and it hurts tremendously. So that was a big thing. And yeah, the next day I was pretty sore. Could hardly move.
What year was that? Or how old were you? Do you remember?
Second year, I think it was like that COVID year, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think so.
What's it?
Terry was telling me it actually like bent the seat.
Yeah. I
That's
bent the
crazy.
steering wheel forward. All 3 of the, I don't know, attachment parts, I guess, just bent it straight up. Seat was bent forward. Like the whole cage moved.
Holy shit.
Wow, that is a hard hit.
Yeah, we cut everything off from the firewall. And then
Wow. So when that happened, because I know like Cornwall has a lot of emergency EMS workers. How was Brockville? So did you get checked out right at the track?
they were
that
good.
night?
I think because I said I was fine, nobody like really checked me out. Like they all like within seconds at the door, and they were fine.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Are you good?" Whatever. I'm like, "Any soreness?" And I'm good. So,
You lied.
yeah, yeah, I did. Yeah,
You almost tried to one up that this year.
I did. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I'm sure I was the one that tightened the nut, so it could have been my fault. Maybe it's just a part let go. But the tie rod where it goes on is like compression, and it came off. Tire flew off, and then I went straight for the wall, and it hurt.
I was behind you in that, and I was having I didn't let my car warm up enough under the red flag. I left the fans on, so I was behind you quite a bit. I came around the corner, and from my angle, it looked violent. I just seen like the dust fly, and then you go straight up into the wall, and it looked hard.
Yeah. There's no worse feeling than when you're turning with all your might, and you're still gonna hit the wall.
Yeah,
you just kind of brace and.
Yeah. And I think sometimes that might almost be worse because your body gets so tense. And I don't know if it's because like you're so tense when you hit or you don't see it coming and you're looser. But man, I can't imagine you guys out there. Like it's hard watching from the stands when stuff like that happens. And then it's like who's behind you because they're watching it and the person that's involved. And it's terrifying. So
yeah, it's definitely scary when you're heading towards the wall looking at the fans.
yeah, like I see you all. This is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
All right. So where did you place this year? What you were top 5?
I think 5th.
5th. And how many?
4th.
Was it 4th?
I think so.
So Mark was 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Just stuff place. So how many years have you been kind of sitting in that top 5?
Every single year. I've never came out of the top 5 the first year. I remember it's kind of an annoying story, but I was vaping when I was a kid, and I remember Mom, she found my vape, and she goes, "You're not racing for 2 weekends, blah, blah." And then that was the first year, and I probably lost the championship because of that one. But.
Funny, because I have a line here that says, ask him about missing out on a championship because he was grounded.
Yeah. But, so I lost 2 races. Still came 4th in that year. And then the closest I ever came was with Jared by 1 point.
Wow. Yes. Who was on here that told us about that one? Tim, yeah. He was like really good. He described those last couple of races and that final win as like nose to nose.
That was a little disappointing year, I think. I was pretty upset at myself because it was so close at the end, like we were nose to tail. And, yeah, that was a tough one to lose for sure.
Yeah. And like looking back, do you think you could have done anything different in that race?
No, I think me and Jared had a very gentleman-like race that night. And, I could have probably given them a bumper maybe, and it would have changed something, or maybe I would have taken us both out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't dwell too much on that. I wish I would have started the race differently, probably.
Yeah.
Tim, part of what he was saying was how he thinks that a lot of racers, especially young racers, should watch that race and know that you don't like how you guys did it without dumping each other. He said you don't have to wreck someone to win a championship, or like that's how you should race, not wipe people out to win. And
that's right. And like we're all out there just having fun, and I love it enough as much as everybody else. So I just like seeing everybody out there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good to know though, if we're ever at a tight points chase, I could just plant a vape in your bag and get ahead of you.
Yeah. See if your mom will still ground you.
Yeah. I'll have to talk to her.
I just lost my train of thought. Oh, talking about that race and how it's so clean and stuff. It's so hard because it's like you want to watch an active race. You want to watch an exciting race, which is super exciting. But when we were down in Fallujah, there was one race that was yellow. Like there were so many cautions. And it's like, sometimes those are neat too. Like, I'm not saying that you want to watch someone like hit the bumper on someone and make them fly, but those are those like tight races that, yeah, they're like the little knocks here and there and cause the restarts. So how do you feel going into a restart?
Restarts, if I'm setting the pace, I'm pretty confident. The Mazdas shine in the Hondas have to shift. I don't, so I can just mat it and get out of there. And I find the V6s probably pull a little harder off the line, unless Jamie's beside me. That guy can outdo me on a start any day of the week. Sometimes he jumps it maybe a little bit. So restarts, I love restarts. I get pretty aggressive with them. Sometimes giving people a bumper at the start, just get them off their game. Makes life a little easier when you're going down the front stretch.
Absolutely.
Okay, I noticed the difference too, but who's like, depending if it's you or definitely Jamie, the pace will be different. Like for me, if I'm in the front and I'm setting the pace, I'm trying to go like as fast as I can because my second gear is so long. But I know Jamie, like the car's almost stalling if he's starting it. He's going so slow because he knows he can pull.
I love those.
I've heard someone said when I said that mentioned that you do the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
I try and I'm sure everybody does it, but you try and like within those cones, you try and start at different spots.
Yeah.
Because for me, I can get on it at all times. And I find if you're like split second behind, it takes so long to get like up and going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So so say if you are the one that gets to go first, do you know like the person beside you, do you try and kind of like figure out, okay, this guy likes to start like this, so I'm going to try and do the opposite and like I say, like dog them down or go quicker or.
It's hard to tell, I would say, when it's just so many different drivers and styles that everybody does. Like, I kind of do math in my like head for points when we're going to like a green flag or something. I'll be like, okay, you can pass me and I'll be okay. You cannot. So I gotta like it's every race is so different and kind of the only thing other than till the green flag drops. After the green flag drops, it's looking at the next turn and nothing else is in my mind.
Yeah, exactly. And I found too, like last season, as the season progresses, you get more and more in your head of points. And even sitting in the stands, I got like that of like, okay, this car needs to say the fuck back, and like this car can go, and like it is a mental math game for sure, which I didn't really expect. I just thought like, it'll be fun, and then you hit like a certain point in the season, you're like, no, game on, like it's all about points now.
Oh yeah, and I hate that Rockville doesn't put the points out sooner. Like it's like Wednesday, and you're like, "Can we get the points out, please?" Now, like I need to see where I'm at.
Yeah, I know at the start of the year they did that. It was delayed like a week or something, and I was like, I knew I did all right that week, and I was trying to figure out where I finished, and then I had a really bad week, and we got in the truck on the drive home. I opened my phone, and I was already down in points. I was like, "Oh, okay, of course, this weekend, do it right away."
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I find too like we try and figure it out before the points are posted, and
I never get it right.
No, I'm always one off or two off or something. But
how is your race day? So, like, do you get up in the morning and do you stress until you're behind the wheel, or are you pretty calm?
You seem like a pretty calm guy.
Yeah,
you don't really show much. But
I'm sure if you guys talk to Terry and my mom, I don't stress about anything. It's probably my biggest problem. They really get upset at me for it. I love just not worrying about anything. It just, you're going to get in the car and it's going to do what it's going to do. I don't know. You can drive to the best of your ability, but shit happens.
Yeah.
Like when that tie rod blew off, like, well, it is
It's
what
what
it
it
is,
is.
you know?
Exactly. It's funny because, like, as you've probably heard through podcasts, he is like doesn't eat, gets up in his head, and it's like, man, like just like enjoy it. But it's so hard because it's like now you guys are like the extremes of like you're like super cool and yeah, it's stressful. But like you say, the car's gonna do what it's gonna do. So
Yeah.
like anything else in my life, I don't really get too stressed out about. But for some reason, that like racing, I get really because there's so like. Not only do I have to be ready, the car's got to be perfect. Like any little like something is wrong, it like kind of throws your whole day off, you know. And then one bad night can ruin your whole season. So.
Yeah, for sure. I remember like this year, I think it'll be different. Just because me and Dad are both racing minis strictly. He was awful stressed out about 358 stuff.
Yeah,
and maybe wasn't probably having as much fun as I think he's going to have this year. So I'm excited for that. Maybe the stress levels will come down and he'll be more like me this year. But.
I get a kick out of Terry. I love going down and being like, "Did you see the lineups tonight? See where you're starting tonight?" Like just poking him a little bit.
Both of you though, like I was Casey Kavanaugh was over yesterday. We were talking about Terry or whatever. And it's like I even like whether he's laughing, whether he's upset or whatever, he always just seems like the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to tell.
He's a very like docile, not too exciting. Until you get him riled up, sometimes he gets like, it's weird. Like we'll have 5-minute arguments. That's our thing. We never argue for more than 5 minutes. He'll yell at me, I'll yell at him. It's over. Yeah. And then we go on with our day. Which is nice. That is super nice because holding grudges at the racetrack gets long.
Yeah.
Especially with the guy who's beside you. The
yes.
truck on the way home.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. How would you describe your driving style?
Aggressive, I think. I have a bad habit of of trying to win the race within the first 3 laps, which I'm trying to get better at. I've definitely had my moments of probably pettiness and dirtiness throughout the years. You can ask Mark Supernaut, I'm sure. I dumped him one night, and it was so blatant that I felt like, and Dad was like, that's not cool. And so I had texted him the week after, and I'm like, sorry, yeah, that was not. I could have passed you for sure, and I didn't. But yeah, just aggressive. I find if I'm racing with like you, Jamie, Clayton, like all our top 6, 7 guys, I get like so nervous because I can hear the 4-cylinders behind me, and I'm like, okay, like game face on. And then when I can see your nose beside me is when I just, for some reason, it locks me in, and then I can set a pace. Like sometimes you guys get by me, sometimes not, but I usually can keep more consistency with somebody beside me or behind me than if I'm racing alone. I hate racing alone.
I've actually, it's funny you say that. I find the same thing. If I get out in front, which doesn't happen too often, but if I do, I make way more mistakes. Like if I'm following, I'd way rather chase someone than be chased, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Like, if I could
100%.
follow someone trying to pass them, as soon as I get out in front, it's like I lose all motor skills or something. Like I just like start panicking and I overdrive stuff. And I don't know if it's because I think someone's trying to come around me and I'm trying to stay in front of them, but it's like when I know someone's behind me is when I make all the mistakes.
Yeah, I agree. If I could guarantee a last lap pass every time, I would never pass anybody until the last lap. Because it is true. Like you just, even if you're not making mistakes, you get in your head. You're like, that felt slower, but it's probably maybe your fastest lap. Like it's so deceiving when you're by yourself, I find.
Yep, for sure. And what keeps you going back to Brockville?
Location probably is the biggest thing. And I am, maybe it's because I run V6, but I find Cornwall is just not as fun of a track for myself anyway. I like the speed at Brockville. Just maybe a little more like lee room for, like room on the track for everybody to like actually race each other. I find Cornwall gets congested. Maybe more cautions than Brockville does. Maybe a little more smashing of the parts.
Yeah, I like Cornwall. Like I haven't run there much. I've actually only really done like hot laps in the last year, but it's shaped different, which is kind of cool because it's like it's not like a really big straightaway and then a tight corner. It's more of a gradual thing. But the only thing I find is it seems to like fall off more or something. Like it becomes a 1-lane track very quick. Like depending too if the mods run first, but I find even like watching them, like sometimes like the pro stocks, like it only becomes a 1-lane track after a while. Then it's kind of, if someone does step out to pass, the whole field passes them on the inside.
And it's impossible to get back in there, I find.
Yeah.
And then you got that berm on the inside that if you catch.
Well, at first I thought it was really cool. I'm like, oh, there's no tractor tires, like sweet. And then like this year they had like 4 or 5 mini stocks flip, and I was like, maybe the tractor tires are actually not so bad after all.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. How do you find Mohawk?
I didn't like not have a good experience there. The hot laps, I ran down everybody like crazy. I was like a second faster.
You qualified first. I remember when I saw you go out there, and I was like texting my dad. I'm like, Hayden qualified first. He's like, see, maybe he's like one of the fastest mini stocks in the area. And I was like I said, you were flying for sure.
It's just because I think I was that fast in the hot laps because the track was like more wet, which my car shines in. Dry slick is not my friend. And then when it came to the feature time, and my car kept popping out of gear, which was one problem. I'd go into the corner and be like, I'm like, well, this is no good. And then those 4 cylinders just had way more off the line.
There was a red flag, and you stopped right in front of the grandstands, almost right where we were sitting. I remember waving at you. You just giving me the thumbs down in the car. I said, uh-oh.
Yeah, it just kept popping out of gear. It was the strangest thing. So,
do you have? Sorry, go ahead. I was going to ask. Do you have any other dirt tracks that you kind of want to go to? So you know Cornwall, you know Mohawk, but is there any other on your list?
Maybe before you say this, Terry wanted us to ask you how many tracks you think you've actually raced at, because it's a lot more than people would think.
I at least a dozen tracks I've probably raced at. Yeah, probably about a dozen. 3 dirt tracks is all I've ran at, but like asphalt tracks, we went everywhere.
You've run Brighton though, eh?
Oh yeah, I guess 4
Okay.
dirt tracks. Yeah, 4 dirt tracks. We used to run Peterborough Speedway, Kawartha Speedway, Sunset Speedway, Flamborough, Sauble Beach, Grand Bend. Um, I think that's about it.
Wow.
But, yeah.
That is a lot. 'Cause, yeah, he said he's like, you have a lot of experience in seat time, and like I say, people don't realize that. So I don't know if they think like Hayden Brown, he just does Brockville, but no, that's not the case.
I went everywhere. We went everywhere. We traveled for hours on end. We used to go to Peterborough, leave Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and be home on Sunday at 6 a.m.
Quick 24-hour trip.
Yeah, and it was, for most part, it was just me and Dad because Mom didn't necessarily want to travel to Peterborough every weekend, which I don't blame her. But and I'd probably be sleeping most of the time, so he did all the driving, which is amazing. He's always just supported pretty well everything that we do. So yeah, props out to Terry.
Yeah, no kidding. Awesome. I like your hat too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Goshen Road Automotive. So that is kind of that's what he does for a job, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Facebook questions.
All
Are
right.
you ready for these?
Yeah.
Jared Galloway is asking, who's the cleanest driver you have ever raced with?
The cleanest driver I've ever raced with. That's tough. I've had some pretty. It's hard to tell because everybody makes mistakes. The Bull brothers. It's like there's a top 5 for me. The Bull brothers, you, Jamie, and honestly Brandon. I've always we've had our run-ins for sure, 100%. But 95% of the time we were able to race each other like really hard and stay clean, which was really fun racing.
Yeah, I don't know how to word this properly, but when I first went to the track with the Cobalt, a couple of guys were I was I didn't know anyone out there, and some of the guys I don't know if you had run-ins with them, were watch out for Hayden or whatever, and I was okay. And you and I've said this before, battled so many times, especially this year, door to door. We've run. I always seem to be around you for some reason, however it works out. And I don't this year, but I don't think we touched once. You've always ran me clean. And afterwards I was I'm actually the least worried about Hayden. There's a lot of other guys out there I'm really nervous about being around, but you're not one of them.
Yeah, I've definitely had my run-ins. I've just been doing it for 6 years. So I think there's probably been more me and other people collisions than probably anybody else, like Jared and all of them have been racing there the whole time. But yeah, I am an aggressive driver, and I could see how people get that, but I'm not going to purposely dump you ever.
Yeah.
So
that's what I when people say that to me, I'm actually, I'm not worried about him at all.
That's the thing is you kind of get to know everyone's driving styles and who you can trust and who's out there to finish the race clean. And
exactly.
All right. Jamie LaRock is asking, who's your favorite driver to battle with in the mini stock class?
I like battling with Dad just because maybe it gives me some bragging rights. If we had identical, even matched, his car this year, it's got 1,000 laps on it, the motor, so it's getting tired. But I'd like to see what we can do side by side because it's been a long time argument. I always rub it in his nose. I'm I got more wins than you do or whatever. And he'd be like, well, I raced 358. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But.
Yeah. If you and Terry were to switch this past season, so you drive your old car, he drives yours, do you think it would have been the same turnout? Or do you think you would have, how would have that ended, I guess?
The biggest thing between the two cars is I find mine I can get to turn better, maybe. Because the old one's rotten pretty bad. It's old. It's got to have 10,000 laps on it, maybe. Because Dom ran it for years before me, multiple championships. I ran it for well, this is going to be 6 years, I think, since I've
Mhm.
switched over to Brockville. So, yeah, I don't know. We've had our tight nights. We didn't get too many nights together where one car didn't have a problem.
Mhm.
That was the problem. Like, that's the biggest issue. Like, we were blowing coolant hoses for some reason on the orange one, or the
Mhm.
blue one blow tire. So we never had an even match. So hopefully this year we can get a little
Mhm.
more insight on that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Who would you say your toughest competitor is out there?
Jamie, he knows how to wheel a car. Okay, like, and his car's always been like any car that he's built has always been super fast, and he's an incredible driver. And he's one of those guys I think you could sit him in a turd, and he'd figure out how to make it work. You know what I mean? He seems like he knows a great deal about driving.
Mhm. Yes, he does for sure. We make fun of him because we find his car bounces around the corners.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this little he's so fast. Then he comes to the corner and you just see his ass just like bouncing around. I was like, he doesn't lose speed though. He's quick out there.
He is fast.
Mm-hmm. So we've had a couple guests on here that we've talked about like the same kind of like conversation that we just had of like, who's your toughest competitor? Who's your cleanest driver? A lot of people have actually spoken very highly about you, just saying that, you are fast, you are a great driver. And then we have the people that say the not so nice things. So how do you kind of go into Brockville on a Saturday knowing that? Like, do you just like, you say you're so calm and you just kind of ignore all of the bad versus the positive, or?
Yeah, I mean, after the race is when I let my feelings shine, I find. But when I get there, like, I would say I'm pretty like cordial with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Have definitely had my run-ins with, people where some things were said. Like Dan Cook, I ran with him for a long time, and we got into some pretty heated arguments, to the point where it was like almost a brawl. And I tried to avoid that though. Like last year, Clayton probably had some choice words underneath the grandstands together.
Yep.
But I mean, it's racing. You get over it. There's a next week. I find the biggest thing with our group is I stay off Facebook. I'm big off, like, I don't comment on anybody's things. I don't ask any questions, usually, for the most part. Just because I don't have time during the week because I'm fairly busy with my job, and I just don't want to stress about who's messaging, saying something, or whatever.
Yep. No, good for you. Because I think that sometimes is like the dark rabbit hole that people go down is Facebook. So.
Well, it just gets to be too much sometimes. It's like unnecessary.
I noticed at the track too, like with you and Terry, like you kind of stay over, like you kind of park further away or whatever. And till this year, I actually didn't really know what you looked like. like I met you for the first time this year, but like I said, now like I always go over and see you and your dad or whatever, and it's really nice getting to know you two. It's really good guys for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We just we like that. The only reason we're there is because it's probably the best service that we can find. Maybe it's different in the other corner. I don't know, but that's why we park there.
Yeah.
And then obviously Daryl and Max park beside us for the most part because we have each other.
It's so funny that you say that. It's because I find people overthink where people park, and it's like there's a reason. People just don't park where they park or whatever, but there's usually like it's good service.
Yeah,
it's good, easy to get in and out of. Like
the other thing too with the stacker in the truck, it is long, and parking over there is so congested, and I hate backing up into traffic because, like, again, sometimes it's me and Dad and maybe Mom, and she gets stressed out about the whole cars hitting each other stuff. So it's just easier if I can just either turn around on my own and get set up. And it's so easy to just get in your car and just go on your own merit. You don't have to wait for somebody to back you up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing is like down in that corner there is so much more space, and he can't turn right at all. So if I'm trying to back him up and he needs to go somewhere, like it's sometimes a disaster. So there's more space down there.
Oh yeah, and like the other thing too is I love the sound of a 358, but for 6 hours idling beside your trailer, I'm not about it. So,
Yeah. Oh, I get that for sure. If you could go back and tell your younger self something about racing that you would have not necessarily kind of expected, what would you tell yourself?
That's a tough one. I don't know.
Stump Jay.
Yeah. Probably just take more time in races, like just easy, go relax. It's not a 2-lap race. You got laps to get there. Because I've had races where I've started 8th and finished first. I've had races that I've started first and ended up 15th, So that's what I would just say is that just relax. There's 15 laps. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So.
A lot of it is out of your control too. Like you could have the perfect car that night. You could be in the zone and everything and just something go wrong, or the opposite. You could have a dog shit car and stuff happens in front of you and it just works out. So as much as it obviously is in your control, a lot of it is not, I find.
Yeah.
And like a lot of like our racing is like maybe more like endurance kind of like because there's a lot of cars that maybe the motors are wearing out or something. Like anything can happen at the end of the season. That's my biggest thing. Like if somebody blows a line, tire pops, like that's going to be my plan this year is just consistency. I just want consistency because it seems to win championships.
Yeah. And do you prefer 15 laps, 20 laps? Like, do you have kind of like a number that you prefer?
I like the longer races. I think for the most part, our cars can't handle more than 25 laps. And at least in my case, I find the temp gauge starts rising like crazy at that 25 lap range. And I'm sure it's similar for other people. But yeah, like 20, 25 laps. The 15 lap races, I really don't enjoy. Just there's not enough time. There's not enough time to make it happen.
Yeah. I do think I hear more often than not, I just needed a couple more laps versus that was too many laps. Yeah. So for sure.
Depends where you are. If you're out front, 15 laps is perfect.
Oh, yes. That's true. It is, yeah. If you're starting up front, I would rather have a 15 lap race, but yeah, I definitely 20 laps because you go there for a night, you want it to last and like be more than 30 seconds of racing too.
Yeah, of course. Would you rather be a pole sitter or a hard charger?
Pole sitter, just because I can slow you guys right down and like kind of just make it my own race, like at the beginning anyway.
What else do I got here for you? We talked about green flags. If you've had a rough night at the track, and we've kind of already talked about this, but like, are you able just like when you leave the speedway that night, just leave it there and go home and just carry on? Or do you find like Sundays you kind of are upset about it and stress over your night or?
Like pretty well every Sunday I try and look back on videos, whoever's been recording the race. Depending on what happened, like if I screw something up myself, I am like pretty upset just because I know I can do it. Yeah. So it really makes me upset when something I could have changed led to a bad night. And don't get me wrong, there's been some nights where I've thrown helmets in the trailer, like screamed, yelled, cursed at people, but it's all heat of the moment stuff. Like I'm not an angry person. Like I just enjoy the racing and on Sunday I don't really take it home. I'll watch the race the next day and I'll be like, you're an idiot. Why did you do that? Or this, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Again, I think a big part of it, I find anyways, like I always get this feeling that like if I make a mistake or have a bad night or I think I could have passed one more car or whatever, it like haunts me all week just because this, like I was saying, the season is so short that like a bad night can just like the whole season's down the drain. Like you can never make up like for one bad night.
Yeah.
Even if the rest of the year is good, you sewered yourself at the start. And it's just like, man, like my whole season's done now. But.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
That's like this year, me and Dad have talked about it. We're just going to maybe stay away from like stressing about points and just, again, consistency. Because that kind of at some point makes it less enjoyable to race.
For sure.
Makes it like a job.
Yeah.
And the amount of time you spend working on stuff during the week, and especially with me living an hour away from my dad, it's really tough to work on stuff, and it puts a lot of pressure on him to get not only his car but also my car done. So yeah, that's
Do you guys do most of your work yourselves on your car?
everything.
Just the two of you.
Wow.
So
He does 95% of things. So, I'm not mechanically inclined, but he knows everything there is to know about everything, especially the Mazdas, because we've torn apart so many of them.
Yeah. And I do think every driver needs one of those guys that knows everything, because it's like, how do you learn this other than YouTube? Like, if you aren't mechanically inclined, but you want to race and you're a good driver, like you need someone.
And we learn together. Like, I'll tell him what's going on the track. Maybe set the toe a little different. Maybe do this. Maybe do that. So yeah, that's. It's hard to like. That's maybe you find the same thing. I find it's hard to explain to somebody what the car is doing, because once you're done it, you're like, okay, I didn't think about what it was doing. I was just driving, and then. So he gets a little upset at me sometimes. So I don't tell him what's going on.
It was the last race of the year. I was behind you and your dad for a while, and I don't know why. I just got in this like almost like a rhythm, and a yellow came out. Thank God, so I kind of like reset. But I was like in my head, I'm like, I'm just following. Like not that like I was trying to like this or like get around you guys, but like I was like I'm almost just like it's like we're under caution, just following Hayden. I almost just like locked on you, and like. I wasn't even racing anymore. I was just getting in this, and I kind of like sometimes I don't know how to explain it, but when you're out there, like I almost like black out for 15 laps and just.
I sometimes catch myself not breathing. I'm just like and then I'll be like, oh my god.
like as I said, like what's the car doing? Like I don't even remember. I was just trying so hard to like keep it straight or this or that. Like I wasn't even paying attention if it was working or not working or if it felt different. I was just like I said, in a rhythm or something. It's hard, like you said, it's hard to explain to somebody afterwards
100%.
what it's doing or not doing.
Well, now you know how girls feel when they go into a body shop. They're like, it's making this noise, and we try and describe it. So there you go. How much time goes into kind of prepping your car over the winter or between races? And like you said, I guess it depends because you also live an hour away.
Yeah. Dad puts in work probably like every night during the week. Mostly because I smash a lot of things. I'm pretty bad at breaking stuff. I'll admit that. We've endless body work. But for the most, if it's an easy week, Saturday morning we'll roll the cars out and set the toe and away we go. But yeah, on a like rough week, probably every night. If it's depends on what it is. Yes.
You guys actually paint your own cars at home too, eh? Like, Casey, he's friends with your dad. And I remember before I actually like really knew who you guys were, he showed me a picture of the blue car right before Fall Nationals, I think. Your dad painted it up, and I remember seeing it. I was like, whoa, like the brand new bumper on it, all painted up fresh. It looks sharp.
How long did it last looking like that?
Probably the first time I drove it, to be honest.
Well, because I kind of forgot, because Terry drove it in Fall Nationals, and then I went over there with Casey, and it was parked in his garage, and I almost had forgotten about it because I think you were still driving the orange one, but it looked good when I saw it.
Yeah, it looked good whenever we went to Fall Nationals, but it was a turd for sure. It did not work where it should have. So.
Okay, so there has been a lot of talk about kind of the new rule book or the new rules and the committees going on.
Same rules.
Same rules. My bad. Whatever. Do you have any thoughts or like how? Because you've been racing there also so long. So have you ever had a committee?
Also, Hayden was at the at Paul's house when we discussed this, so he
Okay.
he was there and he could shed some light on things that I've forgotten about. Or
Yeah.
Uh, it's so tough. It's like we were talking with Paul that day. It's really tough because of the diversity in cars. I do think we need to set like broader guidelines to where for like the safety stuff. And for one car to have like almost like superpowers compared to everybody else's takes away from the racing. So I think what we were talking about is just it's all generic stuff. And just to keep kind of a line that from like trying to determine a line so that nobody starts crossing it. Because since I started, the cars are insanely faster. Way more competitive top 10 compared to the years I started racing. And the quality of racing's gone up too. And I don't want to see it drop because of somebody having a car with like Brandon's new car with like the K swap or whatever. I think that thing's going to be a superpower, and I don't think anybody is going to be able to keep up. So kind of goes to what's fair and unfair, and then just everybody being on the same page has to be a thing too. So
Absolutely.
I was talking to Brandon about it yesterday, and he said that like if we're up to him, like he wishes that like everyone could do the K swap. It's not
100%.
that like he's like if I could, he's like I'd buy everyone a K series and switch it. I don't know if it's just like in time that will like if more people start doing it, or like if people can figure out for like other. I don't know, like because like you would know, you drive a Mazda. Like, is there other options for?
not for the Mazdas. Mazdas are pretty much like you get what you get, and if you can't find anything else, well, it's time to get a new one. Like we're kind of starting to like scrap some stuff together because it's getting scarce for parts. And but yeah, like you said, like with the evolution of the sport, like if you look at like the 350, like everything evolves. So with it getting faster, it's good. I just think it was maybe getting too fast, too much money, way too quickly, where it went from, okay, Joe Blow down the road and go buy a mini stock, kick the windows, or a car, kick the windows out of it, put a cage in it, and be competitive, to now, like, so much money goes into these things. And then maybe like the purse doesn't reflect it as much. Like everybody's spending an extra, like let's say $5,000 a year on trying to make something faster to make the same purse, and that's where I want it to like be kind of contained in a sort of sense.
Yeah, the Jonathan was on here talking about the rules down there, and it seems like everyone has different. That's the number one thing I find is it's hard to find two drivers that have the same opinion on rules, especially when you go to different tracks. But that's what I think this year. The three different tracks have really gone their own way with the rules.
Yeah.
And I will say too, like sitting from the stands, you want to watch the races that are competitive. Like you don't want to sit there and have the same winner every night, or like the top three or whatever. Like you want that friendly competition out there because it's so much better to watch. Like I get everyone wants to win and everyone wants the fastest car, but a spectator wants the even playing field, I find.
Even for a driver, I don't know. I love competing. That's the best part about it. If I would, like I said, I hate running alone. If you're not competing with somebody, well, you just burning fuel. I find like going around in a circle. Yeah. That's the challenging part, is running side by side with somebody, and still being as quick.
Yep.
And how do you think the committee thing is going to go? I'm sure you know there was a lot of I think misunderstanding, or a lot of people were really against it. I think if it works out the way that it's designed to, it should be a good idea.
Yeah, I think the biggest misconception was that they thought this committee was going to be like the end all be all of they're going to tell me I can't race,
Mhm.
it's not. It's so that the tech guys have insight on the cars.
Yeah.
So let's say Terry is a Mazda wizard. Jamie knows everything about Hondas. Like, everybody has a different car, so the knowledge is so widespread. You get a group of 5 people. And I mean, even if they're non-biased or biased, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're still going by the rule book. They're just pointing stuff out to the tech guy to be like, okay, he's doing this. This is why, this is this. It's to your discretion whether you follow up on it or not. They have no power of kicking anybody out.
Yeah.
It's not like nobody's making a final decision in the committee. It's just helping mechanically inclined people giving help. That's
And
all it
I
is.
think too, another thing that was a misconception is like, I'll just use you and Terry as an example because it's easy, but you can't just be like, well, Terry said I can do it, so now it's all good. Like,
No.
it's not like, or I'm just using that, but like,
Mhm.
it's not like one person can be like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why there's a committee, and if none of them can agree on it, like and I think it's going to be probably less used than everybody thinks it's going to be.
that's what I said. I'm like, ideally, the committee
Never
is irrelevant.
No, because like if we're not going out to pick on guys, we're not like, and this is supposed to be non-biased people, which is perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't be on the committee just because I don't know anything about the cars, but I would, and I wouldn't attack anybody because I want to see everybody come back next week.
Exactly. And I think like Jonathan was on here and he talked about Granby's committee and he kind of explained it in a way that I really now understand it more. So like you say, like it's not someone gets to pick and choose, it's a committee
Mhm.
and it's probably going to be used a lot less than
100%.
everyone thinks. So
Yeah, so hopefully not at all.
yeah, for sure.
And if you're following the rules, you have nothing to worry about anyhow.
That's right.
Exactly. Cool. Do you have any names that you want to see on this podcast?
Kind of the big ones that I've wanted to see have came out.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'd like to see like maybe like a crewman or something come on here.
I'd love to get your dad on here. I don't think he's probably the microphone podcast type,
No,
but
definitely not. I don't think so. I'm sure like I probably could have convinced him to come today.
yeah.
But yeah, it's probably a little much for his old soul. So
He wouldn't even freaking send me a birthday wish. Little bastard. Man.
Yeah, not a video guy.
no, definitely not.
Mhm.
Keeps to himself.
Yeah.
That's good though.
Mhm.
I think I've been trying to twist his arm. I think we're gonna get Brandon on here too, which I think would be cool.
That'd
'cause
be cool. Yeah.
He's been around a lot. He's done a lot for the class and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
He's super knowledgeable too.
Yeah.
I've had lots of conversations with Brandon over the years that we've raced together, and I've always liked racing with Brandon, even like the times that we've had disagreements. But
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't realize. Like, I know he does a pile for the mini stock guys at Cornwall, but then when we had Jonathan on the other night, he was talking about how many races he has sponsored at Granby. So I was like, Brandon is actually everywhere.
he loves the sport, and
Mhm.
that's one of the biggest ally to us is people that love the sport and
Yeah.
want to see it keep going.
yeah.
Makes a very big difference. All right, so goals for 2026, other than just kind of staying calm, not
I
stressing
want a
over points.
championship. I want it so bad. I've came so close too many times. I just want it, and then I maybe relax or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe it'll make me chase another one harder, but I want one, and I really hope this year is the one I get it.
Okay, so no vaping.
no vaping.
No
No
vaping.
vaping.
And,
No promises. No grounding this
There's
year.
no grounding. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
like Matt Bull was on here and he was saying that his prediction is this year is your year. But he also brought up something kind of cool that you won back-to-back fall nationals, which he said is arguably a bigger accomplishment than a championship.
Yeah, that was probably one of the coolest moments of my racing career.
Mhm.
I remember when Tim Baltz was like announcing the race after, and I watched it. He's like, Hayden won last year. I wonder if he'll do it again. And I remember crossing the finish line, I think I might have shed a little tear. I was
Aw.
like, this is pretty cool.
Mhm.
Second time.
Those are big races.
Yep.
You were probably different because you've won so many races and like even if I win a heat, I almost like it doesn't seem like I
Yeah.
almost wait for a second and hear like in the radio if it's like if I get like was that a
Yeah.
good race? Like did something happen? Like there's no way I actually did that. So
Mhm.
I know like say when I won the feature, it took me to like turn 2. I was like waiting. I'm like, is it finalized? Like is it over? I'm good. But
I get so excited. Like I punched my roof. I love it. I love winning so much.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody does, but man, I love it. Like, the checkered flag in your hand just means amazing.
Well, your feature win this year, you got out of that car. And I think I've said it on the podcast. I was like, the way you hit your fucking roof that night, I was
Yeah.
like, man.
I was pretty pumped. It
Yeah.
had been so long since I won. Like, not so long, but it seemed like it was so long ago that I won a race, and I was super, super pumped that night.
you dominated that night. Like you were gone.
Mhm.
Like no one was catching you that night. You were on fire. That was like a perfect race to me.
Mhm.
I'm excited for this year. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see you out there with Terry and see what happens and
Yeah.
who gets this championship.
Yeah, maybe he'll take it from me.
Imagine. Yeah. All right. Well, that is all I've got. Do you have anything?
I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about or?
I think I'm good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
You get your song. So Luke Combs.
Yeah.
So why that song? Why is that your favorite?
Honestly, it was just the song I picked this morning, but I love Luke Combs. He's a great artist, and that song. I don't know if you watched that Tornado Chaser movie. With
I don't know if I saw that or not.
anyway, I remember watching that, and it's a pretty cool movie. So
Yeah. Well, we started this like you guys picking your own songs, and then I said to him the other day, I said I think I want to start getting the guys explaining why, because
Mhm.
sometimes it's like the most random songs. Like I didn't choose this song, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool. So I'm excited. It's a good song.
Mm.
So cool. All right. Thank you everybody for coming back. Next up, we have Adam Turner. So he is Mike calls him the GOAT. So he knows all the cars and all the things, and he's won several features behind different wheels. So thank you very much, Hayden.
Thank you for having me.
This was great. And like I say, you've been known as the quiet guy. So this was an awesome episode to get to know you. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, as always, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.